You ever notice how humans talk about existence like it's a light switch? On, off, here, gone? As if the universe is some cosmic apartment where someone eventually flips the breaker. Cute idea, but mathematically not even close. We're taught from childhood that existence is binary because it's easier to explain. It's tidy. It's comforting. It's also completely incompatible with how reality actually behaves. The universe doesn't do tidy, it does infinite, which is basically the opposite of tidy. Infinity isn't a finish line, it's not a destination, it's a condition, a state where there is always more. You can divide a number forever, zoom into a fractal forever, extend a sequence forever. Infinity is the universe's way of saying, I don't do endings. Stop trying to make endings happen. Now apply that logic to existence. Nothing in nature truly ends. Energy doesn't disappear, it changes form. Information doesn't vanish, it disperses. Systems don't stop, they transform. Even the vacuum of space, the place we love to call nothing, is buzzing with activity. Fluctuations, particles popping in and out, fields vibrating. The universe is allergic to nothingness. It refuses to produce it. It's like the one product permanently out of stock. So where does that leave you? You're not a static object. You're not a lamp that can be unplugged. You're a process, a pattern of energy, information, and awareness moving through time. And processes don't vanish. They evolve, they redistribute, they remix. When the physical body fails, something changes. But change is not annihilation. That's a human fear, not a universal principle. From a mathematical perspective, you're closer to a waveform than a solid block. A waveform can collapse in one form and reappear in another. The pattern persists even when the shape does not. Think of yourself less like a statue and more like a melody. The instrument can break, but the song can be played again, rearranged, echoed, transformed. This idea isn't new. Ancient thinkers described it as continuity, not immortality, not you live forever as the same character, but existence never collapses into nothing. Modern physics quietly agrees. There is no mechanism for absolute cessation. The universe doesn't delete, it archives. What ends is the structure, not the existence. The fear of ceasing to exist comes from imagining a sudden drop into emptiness. But emptiness itself might be a myth, a mental shortcut we invented because infinity is uncomfortable. Humans love conclusions. The universe does not provide them. In that sense, you don't cease. You redistribute, not as a personality with a driver's license, but as a part of a larger system that never hits a final period. No full stop, just a transformation mark. Infinity doesn't promise comfort. It doesn't promise identity, but it does remove the idea of absolute loss. Endings feel real because we experience time in slices. Reality, however, runs continuously, without clean conclusions. Death, or what we call death, isn't proof of nothingness. It's proof that change is unavoidable. And in an infinite system, change isn't the opposite of existence. It's the mechanism that keeps existence going. Mathematically, you have to exist, and you always existed. There was never a version of reality where nothing was an option. How do you know you exist? Because you're thinking, because you're aware, because you're experiencing. And yes, many of the people you assume exist may simply be background elements, structures, patterns, placeholders in your perceptual field. Not illusions, but not central either. Reality is efficient like that. All thought, all creativity, all inspiration, it's always been there. You don't invent it, you connect to it. You tune in to the divine source, the infinite field, the underlying structure. You pull a possibility into form, watch it flicker into reality, and then release it back into the infinite. You never cease, you only change shape. Pattern interrupt. And if that idea makes you uncomfortable, congratulations, you're finally thinking beyond the human operating system. Closing reflection. Existence doesn't end. It transforms. It redistributes. It continues. The universe never stops, and neither do you.